What do Braveheart, The Godfather, and Avengers Endgame all have in common? Those movies are somehow all shorter than Donald Trump's North Korea-style cabinet meeting that he had yesterday. And the vast majority of the runtime of this ridiculous waste of time was his cabinet members kissing his big bloated ass. And so here's a montage of just a tiny bit of that.
There's only one thing I wish for, that noble committee finally gets its act together and realizes that you are the single finest candidate since the Nobel Peace, this Nobel Award was ever talked about.
This is just such a great opportunity really to recognize your leadership as a true champion for working people.
Thank you for saving college football, by the way. We're all very grateful.
In Oregon, where we are expecting a crackdown, thank you for what you are doing with your agents on ICE.
And Mr. President, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to work for you. And you committed when you ran for president to make America safe again. And today the average family and individual that lives in this country is safer than they've been in years because of what you've done.
From the troops directly, which they ask me to say all the time, thank you for your leadership, for your boldness, for your clarity, for common sense, for providing a shield for the rest of us to put America first and to apply peace through strength.
Okay, now I don't have an answer to the question that you're all thinking. How did they fit that entire room and the cameras up in Trump's butt where they are all lodged? I don't know. I mean, you can miniaturize technology these days. Maybe that helped. I don't know. A couple points though of so many that we could discuss. First of all, it's the Nobel Peace Prize. Like if you're gonna kiss up to him, could at least do like a pronunciation guide of the words you put into your brown nosing speech, maybe. What did he do to save college football? I don't even know what that's about. Is that like a trans thing? I honestly don't even know what the propaganda is about at this point, but that's just like my biggest point. And I know I can't get through to MAGA. You guys have such a bizarro world, topsy-turvy idea of what strength is that it will never get through to you, but they know they have to do that. They know that Donald Trump, like a cartoon dragon in a kid's show, needs to be flattered. And he's just gonna sprawl on his pile of gold or his cabinet table. And you all just say a bunch of things about how he's great and saved everything as prices skyrocket. And everybody's safer than they were years ago, which they were before you invaded the cities. We already showed you the numbers. The crime is massively down, but whatever, we'll say that he's responsible for it. And that is just, like, who wants that? I know no Democrat wants that. Do independents want that? Did they vote for Donald Trump to just slump there as his body rots away as a bunch of billionaires? There are 13 billionaires at that table with him, by the way, right-wing populism, as they all compliment him over and over and over again about stuff that he hasn't done or promises he made and then didn't keep. Do Republicans like this? Is this solving your problems? You're paying 40% more for celery and lettuce than you were a few months ago. Does this take the sting out of that when you see Pam Bondi say that Donald Trump is wise as Hammurabi or whatever? Like, who is this actually for, Sharon?
He did it for the show, okay?
The show
sucks.
Boy.
It's
terrible.
Sucks. Okay, the ratings are on decline. And when you show that picture, that long table, this meeting that went on forever, and all these butt kissers, number one, I thought of a colon cleanse. There's places you can go, and you come out 5 pounds lighter. I did it one time. It was scary. But listen, the next thing I thought of was Comedy Central. This would be gold to have the comedians around the table. And I thought, this already is a parody. This is a parody right here. You have tanks outside of Union Station guarding, I don't know, Auntie Anne's pretzels or something. Like, stop already. You made it safer. College football. I hate Ohio State University. Go blue. This is craziness. I don't even know if it's that interesting to watch. I'd rather watch the program on YouTube that you open the show with, because that would give me some kind of value, emotional, otherwise. This is a cartoon.
Yeah, it reflects obviously so poorly on them. I mean, not in like they know that they have to do this. I guess it shows intelligence. I mean, they're not as stupid as him. They know they have to flatter him or whatever. I mean, they could like have a backbone. They could demand a president deserving of respect rather than baseless lies and flattery or whatever. But it reflects so poorly on him. My God, all of this is happening in public. That they are demonstrating the nation that we know that this pathetic little baby needs us to fluff him in front of the nation for literally. I would be so goddamn embarrassed if that was me. I think anyone out there, and I'll say in particular because they talk so much about masculinity, any man out there should be deeply embarrassed if this is the impression of themselves they'd given the people around them. If we blessedly in a couple of years end up with President AOC and she had a cabinet meeting like that where a bunch of people just puffed her up as she sat there and looked at them or whatever, I would be done with politics because of how utterly sad and pathetic that is. But unfortunately, this is what the cult is. And for some reason, the Republicans just can't see how pathetic it is. Well, it's not just pathetic, it's also very aggressive because as Trump is puffed up to believe that he alone can save us, he's talking more and more about, hey, maybe it's time for a dictator. Take a look.
I don't love, not that I don't have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the president of the United States. If I think our country's in danger, and it is in danger in these cities, I can do it. So the line is that I'm a dictator, but I stop crime. So a lot of people say, if that's the case, I'd rather have a dictator. But I'm not a dictator. I just know how to stop crime.
Oh, it's a great line. It's a funny line. All the billionaires sitting around him are making back like, yeah, maybe we should have a dictator. That would be great. I hate democracy and I don't want the people to eventually lynch us. So, when they realize how much we've robbed from them. So maybe we should actually have a dictator, maybe that would be good. We'll call it populism or whatever, but it's really just, it's the same as every right-wing authoritarian government that we've ever had. So yeah, no, all that's bad, not funny. And the line, to be clear, is not he's a dictator, but he stops crime. Did somebody have the impression that's the line we were saying? No, it was that he's a dictator pretending to stop crime. The crime is down. He's gonna claim to have stopped it. We made sure that you knew that it was already down. The National Guard is literally being filmed picking up trash in DC because there's nothing else for them to do because it's insane to send thousands of soldiers into our nation's capital to just stand around the Washington Monument or whatever looking tough. And by the way, I appreciate the irony of them wearing camouflage and then putting high visibility vests over it. That's deeply funny in like a Far Side kind of way. But no, the line isn't that like, you're Batman. The line is that you are a failure. You know that your trade policy is terrible. You have no influence whatsoever on the conflicts around the world. You're failing constantly. And as a cheap distraction from both that and the cover up that you're perpetuating to protect the most notorious sex predator in American political history, you're invading our cities. You're turning our military against our own countrymen to distract from your own failures. You're not Batman, you're a petty tin pot dictator. That's all you are. What do you think, Sharon?
Ooh, I love it. Here's what I think. The only truthful thing that Donald Trump said there was that America's in trouble. America's in trouble. It's in danger, I think, whatever he said. That part is true because of him. Pound for pound, he is Kim Jong-un, the love letter guy. That's, you could literally put them side by side, run a clip here, few seconds there. That's what we're seeing here. And I'm gonna pledge today that I'm gonna stop offending babies. The babies are better prepared and they're so cute. They're just so darn cute. I'm not gonna, he's like this greased up butterball turkey that they're constantly buttering. You slather the butter, get it under the skin for Thanksgiving. It really is gross. I'd rather have that. What's that? Tofurkey? That's the one that's not real meat. But anyway, this is actually Kim Jong-un. Tanks on the street, butter up the turkey, okay? And do whatever. I'm the president, I can do whatever I want. And the fact of the matter is, he kind of can. Unless you stop him, he kind of can.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. We're in a very difficult position because there's nobody to stop. Remember, his cabinet the first time around kind of pushed back against some of the worst stuff he wanted to do when he lost the election.
Under investigation.
Yeah,
Sorry.
You think this one is going to stop him? Like they're not going to stop.
Will you
literally
take the
anything.
pledge and not offend babies anymore? We can't compare him to a baby.
I will try not to. But it's gotta come out some way. I don't know. If you'll make a pledge to not reference buttering Trump up anymore,
That was too
then
much.
I'll do it.